Listen, I need you to drop everything you're doing right this second, because what I'm about to reveal could mean the difference between seeing money in your account this Friday or spending the entire weekend stressed out wondering where your payment went. I'm dead serious when I say thousands of seniors are about to miss critical information that affects their survival money, and I refuse to let you be one of them. If you're waiting on Social Security, SSI, or SSDI, and you think you know when that deposit is hitting, you might want to think again because the Christmas holiday just threw a wrench into everything, and most people have absolutely no clue what's actually happening with their payments right now. Welcome to SSA Reports, your trusted source for cutting through all the government red tape and confusion surrounding Social Security benefits. I'm here every single week breaking down complex Social Security updates into plain English because, let's be honest, the Social Security Administration makes everything sound like it was written by lawyers for lawyers, and you deserve better than that. This channel exists for one reason only: to make sure hardworking seniors like you get every single penny you're entitled to without the headaches, without the confusion, and without being left in the dark. So if you're new here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button right now because we're about to dive deep into Friday's payment schedule, and trust me, you're going to want this information locked in. Here's what nobody's talking about, but everybody needs to hear. Your bank account situation this Friday depends entirely on which category you fall into, and mixing these up has caused more panic and confusion than just about anything else I've seen in my years covering Social Security. Right now, sitting at your kitchen table, maybe drinking your morning coffee, you're probably wondering if the Christmas holiday messed up your payment schedule. You're thinking about those bills sitting on your counter, the prescription you need to refill, the groceries you're running low on, and whether or not that money you've been counting on is actually going to show up when you need it. I get it, and that's exactly why we need to talk about this right now before Friday gets here and you're left scrambling. Let me break down exactly what's happening this Friday, December 27th, in a way that actually makes sense. If you're collecting regular Social Security retirement benefits and your birthday falls anywhere between the 21st and the 31st of any month, this Friday is your scheduled payment day, and that has not changed one bit despite Christmas falling midweek. The Social Security Administration already built the holiday into their schedule, which means your money is coming exactly when it's supposed to. But here's where things get interesting and where a lot of folks get tripped up. The amount hitting your account this Friday is going to look different than what you saw last month, and before you start thinking there's some kind of mistake, let me explain exactly why that is and why it's actually good news for most of you. The 2025 cost of living adjustment just kicked in, which means your January payment reflects a 3.2% increase over what you were getting in December. Now, I know some of you are thinking that doesn't sound like much, but let's talk real numbers here. If you were receiving $2,000 a month before, you're now looking at about $2,064. That's an extra $64 every single month, which adds up to $768 over the course of the year. For seniors who are struggling to keep up with rising costs on everything from heating bills to groceries to medications, that extra money isn't just numbers on paper. It's the difference between making it through the month comfortably or having to choose between eating and staying warm. But hold on, because there's another piece of this puzzle that I need you to understand before you check your bank account Friday morning. Medicare Part B premiums also changed for 2025, and if you're like most people, that premium gets automatically deducted straight from your Social Security check before you ever see a dime. The standard Part B premium jumped to $185 a month, which is about $10 more than what you were paying last year. So when you do the math, yeah, you got a $64 raise from the COLA increase, but 10 of that immediately goes to cover the higher Medicare premium, leaving you with a real increase of about $54. I'm not telling you this to bring you down. I'm telling you this because I want you to look at your deposit Friday and understand exactly where every single dollar went so you're not sitting there confused thinking the government shorted you. Now let's talk about my SSI recipients, because your situation is completely different, and this is where I've seen the most confusion happening. Supplemental Security income normally gets paid on the first of every month, but when that first day lands on a weekend or a holiday, the payment comes early. Since January 1st is New Year's Day, you already received your January SSI payment before Christmas even happened. So if you're sitting here waiting for an SSI payment this Friday, it's not coming because you already got it. However, and this is crucial, if you're receiving both SSI and Social Security retirement or disability, those are two totally separate payments that arrive on different days. Your SSI for January came early, but your Social Security payment for your birth date group is still hitting this Friday right on schedule. Make sure you're checking for both deposits and not assuming something went wrong just because you only see one of them at first glance. For everyone on Social Security disability insurance, your payment follows the exact same birthday schedule as regular retirement benefits. So if your birthday is between the 21st and 31st, you're getting paid this Friday, no questions asked. But there's an exception that trips people up all the time. If you started collecting disability before May 1997, you're on the old system, which means you get paid on the 3rd of every month regardless of when your birthday is. That means your next payment isn't this Friday, it's January 3rd. I know it seems ridiculous that the system works this way, but that's the hand we've been dealt, and understanding it means you won't be panicking when you don't see money you weren't supposed to get anyway. Here's something that affects way more people than you'd think, but hardly anyone talks about. If you went back to work part-time or you're earning any kind of income while collecting Social Security before reaching your full retirement age, there's an earnings limit you've got to watch out for. In 2025, that limit sits at $23,400. Earn more than that, and Social Security is going to withhold $1 in benefits for every $2 you earn above the limit. This catches people completely off guard, and suddenly they're seeing smaller payments and freaking out thinking it's a mistake. It's not a mistake. It's the earnings test doing exactly what it's designed to do. The good news is once you hit full retirement age, this limit vanishes entirely, and you can earn as much as you want without touching your benefits. Let me give you a real-world example so this all clicks into place. Imagine you're 70 years old, worked your whole life, and retired at full retirement age. Your base benefit before the COLA was $1,800 a month. With a 3.2% bump, you're now getting $1,858. Medicare Part B takes out $185 automatically, which leaves you with $1,673 hitting your account this Friday. That's your actual take-home amount. If you're seeing something different, there might be other deductions like Part D premiums for prescription coverage, voluntary tax withholding, or possibly garnishments for things like unpaid debts. These are the main reasons people see unexpected amounts, and knowing what to look for helps you figure out what's going on instead of just worrying. Speaking of taxes, and I know this makes people's eyes glaze over, but stay with me because this matters. Up to 85% of your Social Security benefits can be taxable depending on your total income. If your combined income, which includes your adjusted gross income plus non-taxable interest plus half your Social Security, exceeds $25,000 for individuals or $32,000 for couples, some of your benefits become taxable. You don't have to pay taxes out of your check unless you want to, but you can fill out Form W-4V and have federal taxes withheld at 7, 10, 12, or 22%. Some folks prefer this because they don't want to get slammed with a huge tax bill come April, while others would rather handle it themselves. Neither way is wrong. It just depends on what works better for your personal situation. For those of you who are married, here's a strategy that could put significantly more money in your pocket, but not enough people know about it. If both you and your spouse worked and paid into Social Security, you might qualify for spousal benefits. You can receive up to 50% of your spouse's benefit if that's higher than your own. So let's say your retirement benefit is $1,000, but your spouse gets $3,000. You could potentially collect $1,500 as a spousal benefit instead of just your $1,000. Both of you need to have filed for benefits, and you need to be at least 62, though waiting until full retirement age gets you the maximum spousal amount. This also applies to divorced spouses if the marriage lasted at least 10 years and you haven't remarried. I've talked to so many people leaving money on the table because they didn't realize they qualified for this. Here's my bottom line for all of you watching today, especially those of you struggling to make ends meet on fixed income. Your Social Security payment this Friday is coming exactly as scheduled if you're in that 4th week birth date group. That payment reflects your COLA increase minus any deductions like Medicare premiums. If you're on SSI, you already got your January payment early. And if you don't see your deposit first thing Friday morning, don't immediately panic because banks process at different times throughout the day. Give it until end of business Friday, and if it's still not there by Saturday morning, then contact your bank first and Social Security second. You've worked your entire life for these benefits. You've paid into this system through every paycheck, and you deserve to receive every penny on time and in full. If this information helped you, do me a favor and share it with other seniors who might be just as confused about Friday's payment. Until next time, this is SSA Reports keeping you informed and making sure you never miss out on what's rightfully yours.